Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have a good buddy, a friend of mine, Eric Brooker, who is the National Director of Partner Programs at BigLeaf. And Eric is a real life SD-WAN aficionado. Prior to joining BigLeaf, he served as National Director of Sales for BroadVoice, Regional Sales Manager of Viasat, and he worked with the Master Agent Channel for ShoreTel. Eric, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. This is a show that I watch, and I have sort of eagerly been awaiting the opportunity. So thanks for having me, Steve.
Well, you are now bringing the show credibility. Now that I've got you on the show, so I'm glad you're here. Hey, so I have a question. I have a question for you. How do you get to be an SD-WAN aficionado?
Well, for me, I had to start with thesaurus.com, right? Because I had to find a word that sounded more attractive than what it was. But by definition, it's a person who's knowledgeable and enthusiastic about a specific subject. For those of you that know me, I've been in the SD-WAN space for a long time. I'm passionate about it because there's an evolution happening in the connectivity world, and SD-WAN is certainly a part of the evolution. Couple that with being a part of BigLeaf, a great culture with a great product. That's the tagline you get on LinkedIn.
That's great. I actually thought you were going to be smoking a cigar during the presentation, so I'm glad that you explained it. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I remember, when I was general manager of Top Speed Data, John Hogan and Jeff Burchett, when they came into Top Speed, this was before BigLeaf had set up relationships with Intelisys and Teleris and the rest of the masters, and we took them on. In fact, we helped introduce them to our next door neighbor, which was Intelisys. So I think they were doing SD-WAN before it was cool. Were they one of the first to go to market?
Yeah, great question. So we were definitely one of the first to market. I think it's like Italy saying that they created pizza before you get all these other countries saying that they were the first. We were one of the first to market. So our co-founders found a problem with the internet before really SD-WAN was a topic. And actually, I admire our leadership. I joke in my story of BigLeaf and the evolution is that Joel, our CEO and co-founder, basically got a book on how to code for dummies and created the first iteration of what is now BigLeaf. So yeah, we were certainly one of the first to market.
That's great. And now, I mean, through my days at Top Speed Data and then now at TPX, I'm amazed that there are providers and carriers that come out and go, we have SD-WAN, like it's a brand new technology. It's been adopted pretty well, but tell me where you think we are in the adoption rate of SD-WAN. In other words, is there market share left? How readily adopted has the SD-WAN technology been from your perspective?
Yeah, I think the master agent community has certainly legitimized it. Some of them have a couple SD-WAN manufacturers. Some of them have every SD-WAN manufacturer. I also think that the carriers themselves have helped legitimize SD-WAN by, to your point, saying, hey, look at us, we've got SD-WAN as well. In terms of adoption, we're beyond the early stage adoption, but there's absolutely still a market and a market really starting to raise their hand more than ever before for SD-WAN. It's my opinion that you probably don't want to look at the carriers themselves for SD-WAN. I've gone down that path. I've had those conversations. Typically what happens is when you leave that carrier for the ISP services, you then have to leave that carrier for the SD-WAN services. And with BigLeaf, we can help point the finger where the finger needs to be pointed. Is it a connectivity issue? Is it an issue with your UCaaS provider? So in terms of the adoption, we've seen a significant uptick in recent weeks, probably the last 2 months. We've evolved our SD-WAN at the business to SD-WAN at home. So we're providing the same functionality of SD-WAN with quality of service, being able to prioritize business critical applications on a single circuit at the home office, which is obviously far more relevant today than any of us expected even just a few months ago.
That's great. So it's really SD-WAN for everybody. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, I know, Eric, you're a huge fan of the Top Gun show. I know that there are millions and millions of people watching the show right now. And we always close the show with something personal, but not too personal. Why don't you share a little known fact about Eric Brooker with our audience?
Yeah, so little known fact about Eric Brooker. Probably the one that gets people to sort of fall out of their chair, if you will. My wife and I have 7 children, aging in range from 9 months to 19 years. So we've got kids in diapers all the way up to kids in college.
Holy cow. I think that, and they're all your kids, right?
Yeah,
But together.
absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing. Hats off to you, man. That's incredible. Thanks for sharing that. And also, Eric, thanks for being on the show, man. It's so good to have you on the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a great opportunity. You're doing great things with the show, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. So thanks.
Right on. And thanks everyone for watching.